In this video, I'm going to show how to sharpen these ridiculous blades on this Ninja blender. So these blades were very dull after years of use, and I'm using a 400 grit diamond stone to remove excess material to get the edge down to a sharp edge, and then I'm using the 1000 grit diamond stone to put the final edge on the blade, and then I'm using a strop to remove the burrs. The strop has some compound on one side and just leather on the other side. I've already sharpened this one and the sharpening process worked well. With the diamond stones, you can use a little bit of water. You can also use them dry, but a little bit of water is good to remove some residue. I'm just going to demonstrate dry for the demonstration purposes because it's going to be easier to see. But if I was doing it normally, I would do it either under the sink with water running, or I would be dipping these into water and constantly using water just to wash away any of the material that's been removed. But the metal doesn't clog up the diamond plates. So the first thing to do is to look at these blades. One side has some marks from where it was sharpened originally. See that here? This is my new sharpening right here, but this is the original sharpening marks. The other side is mostly shiny. There's some marks from where I've sharpened a little bit on that side, but in general, you're only going to sharpen on one side. So you'll see like this one's the one that has the original marks from sharpening. Here, this side has the original marks from sharpening. This side is the shiny side. So here you would flip it over and you would have to sharpen on this side where the original marks are from sharpening. So here I start with the 400 grit stone, and I'm sharpening on the side that was originally sharpened. You see those sharpening marks there? And I try to match the same angle or as close as possible to the original sharpening angle, like that. I'm trying to match that original angle there. And you'll see if you're matching the original angle by if you remove the previous sharpening marks when you're sharpening. I take it, I stabilize the blender blades, and then I sharpen at that angle like this. And I'm not going to do it a whole lot because I've already done it, but you sharpen with this 400 until you've removed enough material that you can feel a burr on the back side. Here, you're going to feel a burr on the underside, because if you don't feel that burr yet, it means there's still a flat edge, a blunt edge. So you need to go until you feel that burr. So once you can feel that burr on the bottom side, then you're ready to move on to the 1000 grit stone. So here I can take off this burr a little bit on this side, just gently removing it at a very shallow angle. Because I want to start with a little bit burr-free edge when I'm doing the 1000 grit. Okay, so the edge is burr-free. And so the 1000 grit stone, you're going to try to remove the scratches from the 400 grit stone, but you're going to focus mainly on the edge. Now I'm going to do the 1000 grit, and I want to do it until I can feel that burr again. Okay, I'm feeling that burr again. So now I think I have a nice sharp edge. So now the first thing I would do is I would do all these blades that same way. So for this blade, you have to flip it over, you have to hold it like this, and it gets tricky, especially as these things get sharp. And you're going to start again with the 400 grit, and you're going to be sharpening like this. Again at a very shallow angle to match the original angle, kind of like that. You're going to sharpen until you feel that burr. Then you're going to move to the 1000. Slightly remove the burr on the back side. Just lightly remove the burr so you don't feel it again. So then you can do the 1000, and then you can check for that burr again. And then do all the blades that same way. Once you've done all the blades and there's a burr on each one, now it's time to move on to the strop. So here I'm using a dual-sided leather strop. This side has compound in it. This side does not have compound in it. So the strop is going to help remove the burr. So what I want to do is I want to take an edge that has a burr on it. I'm going to go backwards like this with the strop on that edge. You don't want to go forwards into the blade because you're going to cut the strop. the leather strop. What you're going to notice is that it's going to remove that burr. You won't feel that burr anymore once you've done it properly. You have to be careful not to dig into the leather strop with the tip of the blade. You don't want to do too much damage to your leather strop. Okay, so you do all your blades like that with the compound side. And then if you want to go overboard with it, you can use the leather side too. But make sure that before you use the leather side that you clean the blades off. You clean all the compound off the blades because there will be some compound remaining on the blades like that. An easy way to test how sharp the blades are is to cut a piece of paper with them. So here, I'm going to cut this paper. And it's not as sharp as I would take a knife to, but it's pretty sharp for a blender blade. And I don't think we need much sharper than this. Like, this is still rough, but it's pretty good. For sure, much better than before. Oh, this one's really sharp here. So be careful with this when you wash it now because it's going to be super sharp. Okay, there you go. We've sharpened up the Ninja blade now. Hopefully it's going to work a lot better than it used to.